Hi everyone and welcome. It's Marcie Besecker live here on Tuesday at 2 o'clock. And I want to welcome you. We have two cards we're going to do today. And I'm just trying to log in as usual. So I just got out of the swimming pool, ran in, took a shower. And I thought, oh, my project's already ready. I'm not going to worry about it. I am just going to hurry up and do this and come in and play with you guys. Except now I'm getting I had to turn off my vacuum because it makes a lot of noise. And it was not allowing me to do that. But I figured it out and it's off. And now I just need to get to comments. There we go. Hi Tashana, how are you? All right, we are ready. So I have two cards and horns. And I want to show you two different ways to color it, because sometimes you don't want to choose a stamp set that doesn't have a die specifically for the coloring part. And this one, we're going to use the Sending Hugs. And then, like I told you before, I'm trying to start putting the labels on of what the dies are called, because they're not the same, because there are other things usually in the dies. Hi Arlene, how are you? Welcome, welcome. And so I wanted to show you two completely different ways to color this and some fun techniques. And one of them I haven't done in a really long time. And I decided, you know what, I need to go back to doing this, and it's perfect for this set. So one of the cards you haven't seen at all, and we're going to do the first one that I showed you. Let me move my keyboard, which is going to be this one here. And so I'm going to show you some different tips and tricks that I did on this one. And then the other one is really going to be a lot different and easy to create, and a really fun and easy way to color it. So first thing I want to do is give you a couple little updates. And the first thing is my bingo. So I am doing a bingo night, bingo bash night. It's only $35. It's going to be online, and you register at my blog under events, and it says events and classes. So you can go there. Now, I made a couple changes to this, and I'm going to let everybody know that's already signed up. But this is my first time. It's a learning experience. So my goal is to go big with prizes. Then I thought, what if I don't get very many people to sign up? Because it is my very first one. I don't have following like some of these other people do. So I'm going to just be smart about it, and I'm going to say the prizes will be announced at the time of the bingo. So you will definitely have some good prizes, and my goal is to make them bigger and better as I get people subscribed. Now, that being said, I'm going to also change one other thing. I said US only because that's what we can do with sending out shopping sprees, so you can shop with me. But I'm going to change it up a little bit. And if you join me and you are from another country, like let's just say you are in Australia, you're in Canada, things like that, I am going to, it has to be somewhere where Stampin' is at, of course. And what I'm going to do is I will this will be one of your gifts. Not exactly this one, but one of my notebooks. If you win a bingo, I can send you this, but I'll also send you the kits that we're crafting with. So the idea is we'll have our big bingo day. The kits that we create on that day that I create, I'm going to mail you the kits. So if you are a winner and you are not in the US, and you win, you're going to get a notebook, and then plus all of the make and take. So that's what I'm going to do. Let's just open it up a little bit. Oh, Patsy, I'm glad you're back. Welcome, welcome. Hello, Judy. Hi, Carla. Hi, Terry. So that's going to be a little bit of the changes on the bingo. So if you go to my blog, and while I'm here, I'm going to talk about something else. At the top, it says events and classes. That's where the bingo registration is. All the information is on there. Just fill out the registration form below. And just send in your $35 when you can. You do not have to send it in right now when you register, but don't forget to do that, because that is how you are officially registered and how I will make your kits and send them to you. So I hope that makes sense. Also, I want you to notice up on the top, 2 tabs are active now. The last chance sale, which started today. So that means the mini catalog that is going away. Things are going to be going on sale, and last chance, they're going to start going and be gone. So if there's anything in the mini catalog that you want, please don't wait on those items, because they do go fast. A lot of people say, oh, I'm going to wait till the price drops. It's not guaranteed that the price drops. Next to that is available kits. So remember when we talked about the kits that are coming this month? They're alive now, and I showed them on my reveal unboxing. All those are now available. Okay, so don't miss out on those. Those are going to be a lot of fun. But the last chance, a lot of people think, oh, I'll just wait till the price, drops, and sometimes it doesn't. Also, if it's listed as a bundle and you're like, wait a minute, that's in the new catalog, it's because it was a bundle and now it won't be a bundle. So if you want the bundle price, make sure you get it off of that list. All right. Hi, Bonnie. How are you? All right, so we're going to get started. I did do a little bit of the cutting ahead of time, and I'll talk to you about that, but we're going to do some coloring today. And I'm going to try and do it quickly for you, because I know coloring, sometimes people don't like to watch it. But I have 2 different methods of some coloring of this project. And the second card is going to look completely different. So I want to make sure, let me zoom in just a bit here. I want to make sure that you can see both ways on how to do it. So let's pull this card in. So what I want to show you first is I die cut. And of course, all the supplies are going to be listed below and on my blog. So I die cut out of the 6x6 sheet. And so this is what you're going to have left over. So I always try to move the die over to the edge, okay? And doing that leaves this piece. So what is this going to do? It could leave a strip to go in the bottom, especially because we're doing this landscape. I chose to add some little leaves on the inside just to kind of tie in with the pretty leaves here. So, just kind of think, what do you want? You could add this in there, a little strip of this, and maybe finish it off with a little pink strip on top or something to just kind of tie it all in. It's all up to you, but I like to use my scraps to try to finish off the inside of the card, because you could still use this on a card base for sure, but you might as well use it up with what you have. Now, you could save this, and you could put this on the bottom of the inside, of a 4-inch card. You absolutely could straighten that up and use it. I'm not going to do that, because at the end of the catalog, I always have a lot of paper left over, and I don't need to be storing scraps, right? All right, so let's just get started here. Let's go ahead and just assemble what we can. I was going to use basic white, and I decided to change my mind at the last minute, and I'm going to use shimmer paper. And, oh, here it is. I'm going to use shimmer paper and just kind of make it look a little pretty. Hi, Olivia. Hi, Carol. Hi, Sandy, Barbara, Bonnie. Welcome, everybody. So on Sunday, I already have an amazing video planned for you guys on Sunday, but I will be recording it because we're going to be camping. So I will record that for you. So please let me know how you like it. So you notice I'm just going to kind of go in and out. Oops, look at that. Okay, so we're going to fix that. I'm just going to go in and out with the 2 different greens. I'm using all of the new in colors. For ink pad wise, I'm just using the greens. And I'm just going to now add that there just to kind of hide up my boo-boo. And that worked out fine. All right, so that we can put away. If you put your stamps on and you have a hard time getting them off because they're new, now this one's fine, but you know how sometimes when you first put your sticky stuff, your label on there, and you cannot get them off and you feel like you're ripping your foam, just take your pokey tool and just barely slide it under and it'll come off. And this one I did pull up and it came up, but it was sticking at first. So that's a way not to get your foam to tear. All right, so this is on the inside. I'm going to take our seal and we're just going to put that on here. This is going to be the inside of our card. Nice and pretty. And now, you know, I like to do this so that I don't have extra pieces just laying around and then I lose them and I'm like, where did that go? And then I use the white for stamping and then I don't have my white for the inside. And I don't want to have to cut another piece because you guys have more important things to do, right? All right, so we're not going to attach this yet because I'm going to put some of our beautiful ribbon. And is this the most beautiful ribbon? I love that ribbon. So you're going to see I added, oh, I don't know if you can see. I added some Wink Estella on there. There you go, right there. And so we won't forget that. So let's pull that out so I don't forget it. All right, we're going to move that aside. Patsy, you are so correct. Those contour dies are amazing. That's my new set of dies right now. That is my favorite so far. In fact, I really, really like the So Sentimental dies. Those are like by far my favorite, but these contour ones are my new favorite in the catalog for sure. All right, so I just stamped this in Memento. No embossing or anything. We're just going to stamp it. Ooh, I need a stamp set underneath here. You know, putting an ink pad or a stamp set really makes your stamp nice and even. It kind of supports this a lot better. You can put a little more pressure on here. All right, so again, we are on shimmer white, so I'm going to have to hit this with a heat tool just really quickly to make sure that it's on there nice and dry before I start coloring. But I want to really make sure I get a good impression. Now, shimmer white is a little slippery. It's a little, that's why I want to dry it with a heat tool. And I just want to make sure that I get it really nice and dark. And I think that looks really good. So I can see that it's wet. I have to put washi tape on my poor little magnet. It's barely hanging on here. All right, so what I like to do is I'm going to just wipe this off really quick because we're going to use it again. But we're using it with Memento, and I like the positioning. I'm just going to leave it where it's at. Although, I have to say, I just decided to use my shimmer white, so it might have moved a little bit. I just throw a block in there just to kind of not have it lay down and get ink everywhere. All right, so let's dry this off for just a really quick bit. Hi, Nola. So this first one here I'm actually making for somebody in mind, and I should have mailed it already, but I thought, oh, I want to do it on this class, and actually it kind of worked out that I'm going to be mailing it tomorrow, so it will go in the mail to my friend tomorrow. Hello, I sure did. And we're leaving again. Funny story. there's this little tiny town next to us, and there's a little golf course there that my husband goes golfing. And we just found out by two of the people when we were looking for our motorhome, two of the places told us, oh, you have to go to this little town. It's called Chowchilla. You got to go to Chowchilla and go to the RV park there. It's really nice. And every night you stay, you get a free round of golf for two. No, I'm not embossing, Bonnie. It's Memento, but it's on shimmer white, so it's kind of, it's kind of slick, so it stays a little wet. And so once I see it shiny, I want to make sure it's dry. So we called the place up, and sure enough, you stay there. They only charge you $42 to stay the night. And so when you stay the night, you get, okay, I'm going to bring you in closer. You get the two round of golf for free. So we're staying 2 nights, so my husband and his friend can go 2 nights. Oh, thanks for answering that, you guys. Yeah, so it's a lot easier because these are super powerful magnets, and with washi tape you can see my washi tape is very old, so you can just help pick it up. It's just easier to where if it's just the magnet like this one, I have to like slide it off and then pick it up, and so it's just easier to do that. But I have some stronger tape that I'm going to switch out to. All right. Washi tape works for quite a while, but okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to start coloring. And I'm going to start with our pink, with the polished pink. And am I close enough? Can you guys see okay? And I'm going to just go right along. They give you the lines, all right? They just really give you these lines. And so I just go right in where the darker lines are. So I'm just going to do 2 flowers at a time. And I'm going to do these large ones. And then that one doesn't have one, but I'm going to add it. And so we're just going to add that on there. And then I'm just going to take the light. And I like to use the little tip as much as I can. So just kind of blend in. Now I like to, especially with the lighter colors, I go from the top downward. And I'm just really just wanting to add some color. So you don't really have to just keep going back and forth. Just kind of add some color on here. I don't know why. I think some of this might still be a little wet. Maybe my idea to do the shimmer white on video probably wasn't the best idea, because I could have let it dry a little longer, but alright, so we're just going to, yeah, I think some of it's still a little wet. So if you do it on the shimmer white, just make sure you let it dry a little longer. It was my thought at the last minute, so I'm ditching this thought, you guys. I don't like how it's getting black all over because it's not completely dry. So we are going back to the original thought. If you let it dry, you can color there on shimmer white, but I seriously just made that decision right before I came on and didn't think about it not getting a good to dry very well, so we're gonna not do that, but you definitely can. See, live TV. How close am I here? Ugh. All right, sorry, doing it over. Ooh, rewind. See how pretty and dark that is? And that's just one stamp. Beautiful. All right, so let's move this over. My block just went flying. Okay, Maybe I shouldn't go swimming before I do videos because I am just all over the place right now. Hi Debbie, I'm glad you are among us today. All right, here we go again. So now I'm going to add some dark. I'm just going to go right along the flowers. The shimmer paper would have been really pretty, but I just don't have time to let that dry. And I should have thought about that. All right, so now we can blend the dark. And really, this isn't really a lot about technique, about the blending and, you know, you just want to get them colored. So I'm not too worried about blending. I'm just adding the dark just to add a little accent. All right. The next one, there's going to be a little more of a technique, and it's a lot of fun. All right, we're just adding a little bit of dark. So there's 3, and I think this one over here is the 4th one of the larger ones. Now, when I was doing it the first time, I kind of got carried away with the pink, and so then I switched it up. But I also decided that I liked it with a little more pink because the card base behind it, the DSP, is the peach. And so I kind of liked having a little more pink. So I'll show you what I'm going to do. We're going to kind of look at the smaller flowers and choose some to be the pale papaya and some to be the polished pink. Okay, and I'm coloring fast, so. All right, so if you look, we have another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm counting that one, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think 7. So the larger ones with this big piece in the middle, I went ahead and did pink also. And I might have changed it up on there a little bit, but I wanted to add a bit more pink in here. So I just did the middle there and the line in the middle there, and then this one in the middle there. All right. So anyway, yeah, so we're going to go just, it's like less than an hour away, and we're going to go camping with some friends. And her and I are going to craft, and they're going to golf. And so it's just a little getaway, but it'll be fun. But I have the video I have for you guys on Sunday is definitely technique. So hopefully you'll be able to catch it, and then just leave me a message and say hi. I really think you guys will like it. All right, so there's 2, and I honestly think that was the only, oh, and then I did this one as a flower, and this one. And so just kind of, you know, go around and look and see what looks like, because some of them could look like leaves. And just kind of pick out your flowers. All right, so that is what I did. Like I said, super quick, super fast. Then I'm going to take the purple, and I just took the dark one. Hi, Cheryl. I just took the dark one and take the little one, and I just did all these little tiny, I just wanted to tie in all of the colors. So I just did these little tiny berries in the purple. And there's really no shading on that at all because they're so tiny. So I just poke them really quick. All right, so there's that. And now what I did is I took the dark Evening Evergreen, Make sure I have the light and the dark. Yep, light and dark. So I took the dark and I just did the little plants, and I did just a dot. And it's just adding a tiny bit of depth. So all of the little tiny leaves I did in the dark. Okay, and I'm going to stop there so I can bring in the light. I don't like the ink to stay there too long. Oh, you know what? I brought in the light succulent on top of the dark because the dark was really, really dark. So just come back in with the light and blend it up a bit. And you're barely blending anything. Those polka dots just add a little bit of a depth on there. Okay, so you'll see the little dots on there, but it's just kind of giving it a little more character. All right. So get rid of that one. And we're just going to continue on. Any of the little rounded tiny leaves is what I'm choosing to do the darker. Okay. Hi Judy, how are you? So again, you guys, I'd love to have you guys join me for bingo. And I did change up a few of the guidelines. So if you can just click on, go to marciebeseckerdesigns.com and click on events and classes and click on the bingo bash, and you can read about it. And I'd love to have you. It's going to be a lot of fun. And I did open it up, not just to the US, but read the details. I don't know if I put exactly in there, but I cannot give you shopping sprees. You cannot win stuff like that. But if you win, I can send you one of my notebooks, and I will send you the card kits for the make and takes. We're going to do 3 cards and 1 3D item, and the 3D item's definitely going to have some technique to it. And so it's going to be a lot of fun. But I want to try and include everybody if I can. So, all right. So that's just adding a little bit. Oops, see, I just saw a little flower right here. All right. Now we're going to go to the larger. So I'm doing all of the succulent now. So we're going to do the lighter, and we're going to do the leaves. And I just kind of went off the accent lines that they've got with the darker. Oops, this one didn't get color, so we'll just color that one in a little bit. Hi Sarah, welcome. All right, so then you're going to take the light and just kind of go in, and it doesn't have to be perfect. It could be more of a watercolory, you know, look. And you know how some of those like etched or sketched or whatever you want to call it, like the hand penned is kind of. Now somebody, when I did on my Facebook page, I asked if they wanted to see the symmetry or the, sorry, my computer is trying to close on me, or the sending hugs. So I did symmetry first because that was what won, and now I'm doing the sending hugs. So make sure you go over to my Facebook page and like that page so that I can, sometimes I ask for voting on what you want to see, or different questions or reminders or whatever. Oops, let's get that back in. Okay, so back to the dark. So I'm getting off the page a little bit, getting a little crazy. All right. I'm excited about the new kits. Are you guys excited? Which one's your favorite? I'm kind of loving the idea of just to grab a kit and go. And some don't even need stamps. And I love the idea for new stampers too. But for experienced stampers, I think we could, you know, change it up if we needed to. But I think the whole idea is for newer stampers to not be intimidated. Because, you know, crafting is so much fun. And it's so much better if, you know, everybody feels comfortable doing it. Alright, so we're getting close to these leaves being all done. Trying to hurry here. I like to try and hurry so you guys don't have to sit here and watch me stamp, but I also like it to be a card that I want to send. So I don't want to do it too terribly crazy fast. Exactly, Carol. Hi, Marjorie. Oh, Judy, you know what? It is hot here. The yellow are pastels. The yellow, this is the pale papaya, the new, if this is the one you're talking about. Yeah, I think it's 104 or 107 or something today. I don't know, but it's hot. I went outside and I thought, oh, I'm just going to go get in the pool for a little bit. And I was going to do my exercises, and I said, oh, I'll do those tonight. It was hot out there, so I didn't stay out very long. It was too hot. Last year was too smoky, all the smoke. Last year, my aerobic exercises, I thought I was going to be so good and get some aerobic exercises done in the pool. And then we had all those fires up by Yosemite and everything, and whew, it was terrible. Couldn't even hardly go outside. Okay, we are almost done. I can't wait for you guys to see the next card. Isn't that funny? I do the cards and then I'm like, ooh, I can't wait for the second one. Because that one's really good, really has some technique. But Sunday's card, you guys, I kind of want to do it in person, but I'm going to record it for you guys because it's going to take a little while to do. It's a technique one, but it's going to be super, super cool. And it'll give you guys something good to watch while I'm camping. So definitely, now I don't know if that was a leaf right there, but I'm going to color that in anyway. Because I did. And then remember, just turn your paper as you're coloring. You don't need to, you know, do all this and turn your arm. Make it easiest on yourself. Alright, looks like we are just about done here. Alright, let's see, did we miss anything? So see, it's just quick and simple. You don't have to really, you know, really take your time, and I'll have to look on my phone towards the end and see how hot it is because it's hot. Alright, so what I did next is we're going to fussy cut it, and this is going to be a super fast fussy cut. I did not do it ahead of time because I wanted to show you how quick you could do the coloring. It's really not that bad. You could really do the cutting is really not that bad, but this is what I mean. On the second card, there's not going to be cutting because I'm going to show you a completely different way that I used this stamp set. And I do really like the way this card looks without the, you know, having a die with fussy cutting. It's really cute. I like how it came out. But I thought I'm not going to want to do that all the time. So what else could we do? And so that's when I was remembering a technique I did so many years ago. That it's super simple and it's kind of a really fun way to do your cards, especially when you don't have dies. But it's more for something like this that, you know, you can color it or not, however you want to. Okay, see how I'm just kind of turning fast? It doesn't, you just kind of want to go along with the outside. It doesn't have to be exact. It doesn't have to be right along the side. And then I kind of cut, once it gets kind of long and in my way, I cut. I do like to go around, even like these berries, I like to just kind of give it a little character like you're going around them. Don't just go around like that. I kind of like to go in and out and give it a little bit of a character. And these in colors, you guys, I cannot get enough of them. We talked last time on the video about changing things up and doing some old, some new. Well, this one was already on my list and somebody had requested it, so I'm doing it. But Sundays is, let me look if it's old and new. Yes, it's definitely old and new. So I can't even, I want to give you a sneak peek, but I'm not going to because I'm just not. I want to so badly, so don't let me. But it's super cute. Not even cute. It's very fancy, I'll say that. But it's a lot of technique. But, you know, things look harder than they are. Okay, I can feel my hands starting to tense because I'm trying to hurry, so I'm going to just, okay, take a little breather here. I'm like, okay, hurry, hurry, hurry. I don't know why, but to me, watching somebody fussy cut does not bother me because it seems, it's kind of soothing. I don't know what it is about it, but I don't mind it. And plus, I think you're always learning. I don't care how long you've been crafting or doing whatever, you always learn. Like, I used to use those little glue bottles a long time ago. Why did I stop? I have no idea. So I started using these again, and I don't know why I stopped because they're amazing. I have a whole bag, and I don't know why I stopped. But anyway. All right, so now easy, easy, easy. Okay, so there's another technique. What I did is, so in the dies right here, you're going to notice that there's this die. And so this die, I did cut one out. Any pieces, I just leave them in here. So I did cut one out, and you could set this right on top of here, and you can see that it outlines some of the flowers, and it outlined, but then you have all this greenery behind it. So you could do that. That is one way to do it. If you have the kiddos stamps, would you do those for us too? The kiddos stamps. Oh, let me grab it and see if this is the one you're talking about. Is it this one? Are you talking about this one? Wildly Adorable. I think this one's face is really cute, but these two are a little scary. So I'm kind of deciding how I'm coming up with a plan. That's what I want to say. I'm coming up with a plan. But if that's what you mean by the kiddos, I think that's the only baby one that I've gotten so far. Okay, so this is one technique. You could do that, okay, and use this beautiful die. I mean, this could really go on anything. Isn't that pretty? I mean, you could cut that out with shimmer or that metallic paper or anything and just make it really pretty. But we are going to use these letters right here and do hugs, which I've already die cut out. So our letters are right here. Okay, Bonnie, I'll put it on my list. I've got like the next couple of weeks figured out, but I will definitely put it on there. Hi, Katie. Welcome, welcome. Carol, do you not like those babies? Or are you talking about the weather? Okay, So what I did is I'm going to take my glue here and we're going to add these letters on, and then I'm going to show you something that I kind of changed up on this. So see how this is just so tiny? You can get these on Amazon. I should look up the price, but you get a big bag for not very much. I would, like I mentioned before, I would totally recommend. Okay, I think the H does have a way to go. It is very slightly different. When I had it turned upside down, I can see a little bit of space right here and a little space on the bottom of the H. So if you see that, turn your H upside down. It is slightly a difference. I didn't think there was, but there is. So keep that in mind. I would use the multi-glue in here. Because you're using this mostly on just intricate little pieces, if it tends to squeeze out at all, you can still erase it, you know, and rub it and get it off. So that's what I really like about our glue, is the multi-glue. All right, so I am going to just move that up into the space. And you can barely see the black line on the outside. Got a little bit of glue here and here. I like to just wipe that off. But I'm going to show you something different that I did. I hope my head's not getting in the way, you guys. Like always. Alright, I can't read all your guys' comments. I'm trying to, sorry. So I may miss something. I'll have to go back. Alright, so there is our G. And now our S. I like to use tweezers because you can just kind of get all the glue on there and not all over your fingers. Alright. And add your S. Now, I thought, okay, this is really pretty, but what did I do? Can you guys know, can you see what I did besides the Wink of Stella? Is I took, now I gotta find it. Where did it go? All right, hold on, I have to stand up and look. I think I put it someplace safe so I would know where it's at, and now I don't see it. Oh, here it is. So I don't even know if we still carry these, to be honest. But this was an old, or maybe we still have it, the journaling pen. Does anybody know? Tashana, do we still have the journaling pen? I haven't bought one in a long time because I have this one. And so what I did is I just, see how bold it looks with the, it looks like you put a background, like a black behind the letters. So what I did is carefully just went around the letters. Go slowly so it picks up just enough ink, but so that you can get close enough. It doesn't have to be exact. It just kind of outlines, like right here you can tell I kind of went around at a weird angle. Okay, and if it's darker in certain spots, that's okay. I do, Bonnie, because that is the glue that erases really well. All right, so now, and I like to start kind of at a corner or in a corner on an edge or something, just so you know that you're okay. So can you see the difference there? All right, so on this one, I'm going to start on the outside here. And you want to go slow enough. Make sure your ink is being laid down, but not too slow, because you don't want to have a big old dark spot. All right, I'm going to start here in the middle of my H. And you want to go right along the paper too, so you want to make sure that you're not skipping away from the paper. Okay, so see, oh, this one didn't pick up very well. I probably have some glue right there. All right, so there you go. You have a little bit of a, kind of just makes it bold and pull it up. Mono glue, and Debbie is this one. So see, it's Tombow Mono Liquid Glue. It's the multi-glue, because this one you can rub off or erase and it works out really well. All right, so now what we're going to do is bring this in. We have our inside done. Set that over there. We're going to take our pink ribbon right here. And what I did is I just went, this is a cheap bow. So I decided to just go around. So it's about this much first. And I'm going to add some adhesive right here. And I'm going to go ahead and add it all the way around because I'm going to add my bow, but we're also going to go ahead and adhere this down. So I'm going to count. I did 1, 2, 3, between 3 and 4 going up. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. So it's going to go right there. Okay. So I'm going to go over that one too. Make sure it stays there. And then I'm going to go here, 1, 2, 3, between 3 and 4. Okay, flip it over, between 3 and 4 right here. So I cut too much, that's okay. It's not okay. I hate wasting ribbon, but it is what it is. Okay. Now we're going to bring this in, because now we don't have to worry about this anymore. And let's just go ahead and adhere that down. Okay. Now our dimensionals. I do too, Bonnie. That's the color and contour. And I absolutely love those. And I like that they're all different. All right, so I'm just going to add 5 just to give it a little bit of height there. And let's go ahead and put this on. All right, now let's take the Wink of Stella since we're right here. I did use some for a different project. I want to make sure it's not all crazy. And we're just going to add it on our lettering. I don't squeeze, notice. I'm just coloring this with whatever is on here. I kind of make sure when I do it on the table there that it's going to be enough, that it's not super dry, but it's not super wet either. Okay, and now I'm doing it on the pink. And I did it on all of the pink, even the little one. Oh, see how that just happened? And I didn't squeeze at all. So let me, hate when that happens. It just kind of drops out. So now I have a little blob right there, but that's okay. And now I'm wiping it off for some reason. It's just, I wonder if this is the one I just put alcohol in. All right, so there we go. All right, so now I'm going to see if I take a pick tool and just kind of, you could wipe that up just a little bit, but you don't want to cause a hole because that made it pretty wet. So I'm not worried about it. It's sparkle, right? All right, so let's take our ribbon. And again, I've got ink all over me. Okay, so we're going to do 3, or I did 2, a double 1, 2, and so I'm going to cut it about there. and go over. So if you have not seen my video on bow making, look that up. Everybody said you should have done a video and charged people. I don't want to charge you guys. I like to share what I do. I do classes sometimes that I charge, or, you know, whatever, but usually like tutorials, PDFs, nah. Maybe I will sometime, but now and again. All right, so there is our pretty bow. Now what I like too about this is these have these little dies right here that you could use, and that's what I used on this one, because I have a whole nother video that I'm going to do. I want to make this quick for you, so I'm just going to say sending you hugs. So what I did when I was first stamping these is I just stamped a bunch, and I even stamped some images in here. So just kind of pick and choose what you need. There's some more sentiments, so you can quickly do a card if you need, and you don't have to redo all the stamping on them. All right, so I'm going to take this, and we'll put this up here, right on the boo-boo. Sending you hugs. How's that? Sending you hugs. All right, so there's the first card. We're stamping up. We sell ready-made bows. Oh, Cheryl, that'd be fun. Oh, thank you, Jana. Well, we have another card we're going to create right now. So, oh, thanks to Shauna. Okay, I can't read everybody's stuff. I'm so sorry. Thank you, Barbara, for sharing. I really appreciate it. Okay, I'm trying to read comments too. Sorry. Okay, so that's our first card. So you can see, you can just add your little, I don't like that there. Even though it's covering a boo-boo. Don't like it. So we're just going to go like up here. And maybe I don't like it because it's on foam. I don't know. That's better. All right, so there's our first two. Ooh, we are in close to color, aren't we? Okay, I'm going to move you out just a bit. Okay, so I have to tell you that the next card is so much fun. And I did it last night. I just had this card ready to go. And then I decided, you know what, I'm going to do something else. And I really liked how the next one came out, so I'm excited to show you. Okay, so sorry, I'm trying to catch up a little bit. All right. So I'm going to show you the next one. And it's got a couple of fun techniques on it. So here this one is, and you can't even see all the sparkle like you can in person, and how I did this one. Oh, Carol, good night. Thanks for staying up. Okay, so what we're going to do is we have a piece of watercolor paper. And so I just pulled out a full piece. And I'm going to go ahead and follow these measurements. This one kind of came out to be what it is, but I'm going to do it a little different than what I did before. So I'm going to do 4 3/4 by 4. So let me cut that. So I always do the shorter, so 4 by 4 3/4. see, so we didn't really waste much. I'm going to keep this because you can always use this for something. And put that over by my package. I left the paper on my trimmer. I'm like, where did my paper go? It's right here. Okay. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I have just this bottle of water here on my desk. So I'm just going to use it, but you can use whatever kind of little cup or bowl or whatever you use on your water. Let me move these out of the way. We are not using alcohol markers. I'm just going to pile them up over to the other side. All right. Okay, so I feel like I'm adjusting to a whole different project, so hold on 1 second. All right, so what I did is I just have a bunch of old water markers. Some of them are the new ones, some of them are the old ones. Now, I also always have a baby wipe next to me because this is going to be what I'm going to be brushing on and off. And we are going to do some stamping first before we get started with that. So let's put our project in here. I'm going to make sure that I wiped this off because it has black on it and I don't want that. Not that it really matters that much, but I don't want it on my Versa ink pad. Okay, so what we're going to do is kind of just get this in the middle. That's good with me. So we're just going to put this on the corner. Wow, look how bad it is. My tape's coming off now. My poor thing. All right, let's just do this and let's do that. Let's see. That'll work. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to emboss this. So let's just remember that because I almost forgot. And I have this little thing here with my static pouch thing there. All right, so we're going to take Versamark and we are going to emboss this in gold. So I'm going to bring that out. Get it really, now I do it 2 times. Now by doing it 2 times you do run the risk of it moving. So just be careful. Lift it up very carefully and then I re-ink it again. I just really want to make sure I get a good image with my Versamark. And now I'm a little more firm, especially in the middle where the letters are for some reason. It gets kind of weird right there. All right, so now I just slide these over and I'm going to put my block in there and we'll just move that aside. All right, I just have a piece of this here. Hi, John. I am doing fantastic. Thank you. All right, so we're just going to, I put more than enough on here because I'm putting it back in. I don't care. All right, now I take my bone folder or my piercing tool, whatever you have, and just kind of tap it all off. I need some more down here. Oh, it looks like that maybe didn't stamp exactly, but that's okay. It's all right. We're not going to put it back in. We could, but no, it'll be fine. So because of that, there's a one little spot. I'm going to take this and I'm just going to take that off. It looks like one of those little purple flower things didn't quite get it at the end, and I'm okay with this. So I'm going to set it somewhere I can grab it easily. Except I noticed. Okay. And let's put this back in. All right. Bye, Cheryl. Thanks for stopping by. The replay will be here. All right, so I like to try to get all my embossing powder out of the way. So let's do this really quick. I had this on a little earlier, so it shouldn't take me that long. And you can see a little flecks of gold around the outside, and I am okay with that because we're going to splatter some Wingastella on, and so having those tiny little gold flecks on there is not going to bother me at all. I can't wait to show you how to do this. I haven't done this technique in a long time, but it really helps when you have a lot of white in the background from your project. And you're like, oh, what do I do with all that white? Or what if I color outside the lines? This is going to give you kind of a different outlook on doing this kind of a stamp. And, you know, a lot of people don't like to buy the stamp because there's no dye. I'm going to have to scroll my things down. But Bonnie, yeah, it's a lot of embossing powder. I just pour it on there because you just pour it back in your container. Because sometimes I do. If I put a little bit on and then I just kind of move it around a little bit. And then other times I just pour it on. Alright, so let me take a look. Alright, I think we are good. Alright, what kind of containers do you store your embossing powder? Oh, let me show you. This is a spice container, and it's from Amazon. So you can take them out and put them in. So I just put them all in here. And then I also have this. And this is from, I think I got it at one of the local stores, craft stores in the container section. And so I just put like my sparkle cuts and sparkle dust and just add my different, you know, tops. I just put these two in for now, but, and then that way I can do that. I got, and I got these little, these two for, I have a bigger one for clear, and I got these at Hobby Lobby, and they were in the cheap like kitchenware section, I guess, with little colorful spatulas and that kind of thing. But the spice containers have done wonders for me. I love them. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to do some watercoloring. And there's some different techniques you can do. It depends on how mixed media-ish you want it to look. Oh, thank you, Carol. I appreciate that. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off with a big brush, which I have this one. And then I'm going to take my water. And it's funny now. I'm like, how did I do this? All right. And then I'm going to use a large block because I'm going to use this for a lot for some things. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take the water and we're just going to, oh, you know what I forgot? I like to tape my project down. And this is why this is going to be cut down a little bit because I forgot about that part. See, I did it yesterday and I already forgot. And so what I'm going to do is just take some tape and then just tape it down just a little bit. So we'll be cutting a little bit off, but that's okay. It just helps your projects stay smooth and flat, especially when you're doing some watercoloring. So just add that, and I like to do it on all sides. All right, and this just helps everything stay flat as you're getting your paper all wet. Okay, there we go. Now let's get going. Okay, so now what we're going to do is take this and then just get your project wet. And I used pink yesterday, and that's okay because we're going to use pink today. I'm not worried about the brush being having a little bit of pink on it. All right, so just get your paper wet. And now what I did is I'm going to take my baby wipe and just kind of color that off. And now I'm going to take, first we're going to use our markers, the ink color markers, and we're going to use the pale papaya, and I'm just going to put it all on my block here. And then I'm going to take this and get it a little bit wet, and I'm going to pick up some color, and I'm just going to put it on my project. And then pick this one up. Remember, you're using watercolor paper. Okay, and then I'm going to do it kind of in the middle. Like that. I want a bit of... Start with the lighter color because it's going to darken up as you start adding your other colors. It is watercolor paper, Bonnie, yeah. Alright, so there we go. And now I'm just going to kind of wipe that off. Wipe this off, and now on to the next color. So let's do some pink next. And the only color I didn't use is the Fresh Freesia. I just kind of liked the other colors. Oops, you want to use the larger end. Let's see if I can get my light over here. If you guys can see okay. Can you guys see it all right? You're going to use your polished pink. Again, you're going to take this and get it wet. And you don't need to get it super wet, but you definitely want to get your color on there wherever you want it. Okay. All right. Doesn't have to be perfect. Now I could take water right here if I wanted and just kind of blend that out. If it's, you know, too heavy in places or whatever, just kind of do what you want with it. And then I'm going to take that back off. And so these markers, you can use markers for so many things, and a lot of people just don't think, you know, like, oh, I'm not a coloring person with markers. They're water-based, just like our inks are. Okay, so you could also just smush your ink pad right onto your block and do the same thing. But see how they're coming right out, the color. So let's do this one. And let's just add it right here. I'm going to add some green right here. And I'm choosing not to do too much of the darker green. I want a little more of this green because it's just brighter. But you can add layers and add as much on here as you want. So it's easier if you wipe off your block and then you add some more color, because otherwise it's pretty watery and you don't need it to be too watery. Okay. Because your cardstock's watery, but you definitely want to make sure that there's water on it. My stool is running away from me. Okay. I like to put my feet up on a stool because I have short legs, but I like to be up higher on my desk. And so I like to have my feet on the stool. All right. But I tend to, when I stretch my legs, I stretch my my stool away. All right, I like that, and we're going to go up the side, I think. Let's go up here. All right, and now we're going to do just a little bit of the dark. Oh, thank you, Diane. You're so sweet. All right, I'm going to turn this over because it's pretty wet. And you can see the ink goes on way better. I know you guys can't see. Let me just pull it out a tiny bit. My workspace is getting smaller and smaller for you. There we go. At least you can see that. All right, so it goes on the block way better when it's dry. So at some point, just turn it over. Okay, we're going to add a little bit of dark green in here. Add a little more water to it. And I'm going to add a little over here. And you just kind of put it where you want. The colors actually blend really nicely together. So you don't really have to worry about making mud, because these actually work really well. All right, we're going to put letters over the words, so don't worry about that. All right, and I'm kind of good with this. I think the only thing I think I'm going to do is add a little more dark pink. So let me pink. Here we go. So I'm just going to add a little more pink just to make that a little more vibrant. Let me wipe this off. Just add a little darker. All right, I think I am good with this. So, and you can use these over and over. Just wipe them off good, and they'll be fine. All right, here we go. Now let's put we're going to keep our water open, but I need to dry it. And this is metal, like a plastic metal. I don't want to make it too hot, but we just want to dry it some. We want to put our next layer of color on, so you want to make sure that this is dry a little. You can feel it. All right, that's good. All right, so the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to pull back in our two colors. We're going to do our larger flowers first. And so I'm going to bring in this pink one here. And some of these are old, I've had forever, but some of them are the newer ones. All right, I'm going to move this over a little bit right here so I can put this here. You can kind of see what I'm doing. All right, now what I'm going to do is we're going to take, and you're going to do little spots at a time, because you don't want your project to get, your ink to get too dry on your project. So I'm going to take some water with my brush and just kind of make a little puddle right here. Okay, just make a little puddle of water. Okay, and now I'm going to take my marker and I'm just going to do, I think this is dry enough, and I'm just going to do like this flower right here. Again, we're going to do the large flower, so just do the pink right there, and then you're going to take the peach and kind of just add a little bit at the top. You're going to take some water and you're just going to blend it up. Okay. And you're just going to blend, get a little more water, and do some blending. Okay? So, and we're going to go back over that. So let me pull this in a little closer. Now that I know that the gold, you're getting a weird angle light on that, so I hope that's okay. What kind of tape is that? You know, it's just that masking tape. It's like a washi tape. I don't know what it's called. I'll look it up and I'll link it below after the video. I think I got it off of Amazon. It might have been, oh, it's a Post-it. It's called Post-it masking tape, I think it is. And it comes in this little container. There's another one too. I don't know if this one's Post-it, but yeah, this is Post-it too. So you can get colored ones too. You could also use painter's tape. Same kind of deal. Okay, so we're going to leave that. That's going to start drying. So let's just move to the next one. And we're going to add a little bit of pink. And we're going to add a little bit of yellow. And I like to do the yellow towards the top. And then, again, grab some water. But you see how doing the background color just really filled in everything. And you're like, because most of the time you're like, what am I going to do with this, you know, big old color at the end? Okay, we're going to do it on the little ones too here. And I'm going to add a little dot right there. And we're going to come back in with the yellow. And they're blending right now, but don't worry, the two colors, but don't worry, we're going to kind of define them a little bit later. But for now, let's just kind of get some color down there. There's a little guy right here, and then this one. So I really don't go too much on the gold lines to kind of, I don't follow that. I just kind of go right in the base of it. So there's a lot of pen switching. You just don't want your ink to dry up right there. You want it to still be spreadable. So I don't like to leave it for too long. And I do want that more orangey kind of look. So that's why I'm doing both colors at the same time. And then you want to be careful. You don't need the colors to, if you put too much water, like this one had a lot of water, and it's going to, you're going to lose a lot of your color. But we're going to dry it and come back anyway. So don't worry about that. All right. So I'm going to do this one. Yeah, I think you're right, Barbara. I think that the Post-it tape is a lot more user-friendly. I guess it kind of depends on what you're, you know, using it for, but I agree. It is easier. All right, I'm going to do a little one and a big one right here. They're right by each other. And the flowers will come back to at the end and kind of really make them vibrant. And then there's a little secret at the very end that makes them vibrant. So we'll do that. All right. That. Just about done with our flowers. Have I missed any questions, you guys? If I did, say something again so I can see it, or I'll have to go back and read it. All right, so like I said, these are kind of coming out a little orange, and that's what I want. I want that really pretty orange color. It just kind of really makes them pop. There's a flower, and here's one. It's easier now, once I've done one, I can look at the other one, like, where were those flowers at? Because they get a little difficult to see after a while. You're like, where did, you know, there's another one somewhere. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, I got all those flowers. So we will go back to those colors. So I'm just going to set that aside. Hi, Karen. All right, let me grab a drink here. And now we're going to move to the leaves. And I kind of did a lot of the leaves the same colors. So what I did is I took the dark and I just kind of went in the middle of the flowers, of the leaves, just to add a little dimension and not a whole lot. And then I went back with this and just the lighter, the soft succulent, and just kind of filled in like the bottom portion. And some of them I just went up the stem. It's, you know, just add, you just need to lay your ink down so that you can, I forgot one right here. And then you're going to go back in with your green. I'm adding a little bit more water to my puddle here. And then now you're just going to blend those leaves. And it's a whole watercolor look. It doesn't have to be perfect. You're just kind of adding some color. And then once you get, you know, the bulk of it done, you can go back in and kind of see where you might need to add a little more color, blend a little more. And like I said, it does not have to be perfect. All right, so you're just adding, and you can see those darker greens. It's going to look a little different than the first one that I did. I probably did a little too many down before I started blending, so your dark green is a little more prominent, but I'm actually perfectly fine with that. And so we're just going to add our green, and I'm using the skinnier little part just so you don't need that much. Oh, thought my screen went off dead again. Okay, so just do a little bit, come back in with your color, and by putting this on the dark green, you're actually blending it also. I am no expert. This is just my way of kind of coloring and making it a lot easier than coloring and fussy cutting. You can just kind of fill in your background. And add your color. The gold embossing powder, I think, really makes the difference. I was thinking of black, and then I was thinking of white. And I thought, you know, I love sparkle. Anything that sparkles and shines. Any bling. So I thought, that's what I want to do. Now what I did, I'm looking here. I don't even think I did the purple on the flowers. I think I did the pink. So we'll do that too in a little bit. So just keep going on your leaves. Add a little bit of your dark. And this has to be dry. You can't really color with the markers on wet. It just doesn't work very well. So make sure you do dry it before you start your coloring. And remember that your coloring, it will tear your paper if you do way too much and you get it too wet, which is another really good reason to use your dryer and your heat gun and dry things up a bit. This one I didn't put in the soft saffron, but that's okay. I'm just going to go in. There's probably enough on my pen right there. And now we're going to go back to the dark. I'm doing a little extra, a little too much right there. I think I had more left than I thought. Okay, back in with soft succulent. We're almost done. You can add more. I mean, you can add as much as you want. You see, I'm not being super neat about it. I'm just trying to get some color where I put my other color on, because it's watercoloring, right? And then once you get this part done, you can go back and say, okay, I need it a little darker. I want it, you know, and I can show you how to lighten it up and make it a little more vibrant on certain spots. We'll do that. So I'll show you. You can also put your marker right onto your block like we did the last time. And you can, you know, use your markers that way and add, you know, the color to it if you want. This I like doing this way. It just shows you a different way that you could add color straight from your markers. All right, so we're almost there. Like I said, it's watercoloring, so just kind of want to make sure you're laying down some color. You can make it super, you know, more of the evening green, less of the soft succulent. You can do whatever you want. You can mix them up like I did the first one, where I did the little leaves more with the darker green, and I did the bigger leaves more with, these need a little more color, so I'm going to pull them off from up here, add it. So just kind of look around and see, you know, what you're looking for. You need more dark green. Okay. Oh, my head's in the way. Sorry, guys. All right, so that is pretty much our leaves. And so what I did is I took the pink and I went back in on these little circles. Just add your little pink, and most of them are gold. You can't even add much on there because the gold just kind of closes up. But on some of them you can. And so I just pulled that in just to add a little more color. All right, so I'm going to go back in. I'm going to take the pink and I'm going to go back in with the pink, a little bit of pink, and definitely more. And you can almost not have to blend much of this out. You're going to blend a little bit of the pink, a little bit of the yellow, but see how it's turning a little more of the bright? So that's what you want to do, is you want to kind of go back in, and this is when I use the thicker end, add a little more pink, and just kind of fan it out a little bit, and then add your papaya, pale papaya, and I go downward, because now you don't want to really blend them too much together, but enough to kind of make them blend and not be so, you know, with harsh lines. Okay. And we're almost done with this part. Yay. Oh, Jeannie, thank you. All right. Now, when you take a baby wipe and you wipe it when you do something and then you take it off, it absorbs that color, so it's gonna look pretty white to you. So make sure you're ready to, add more color down onto that. And so I kind of blend the pink first, move the pink around, especially when I did multiples right here. All right. Blend that pink. Oops, this one probably needs to be blended a little bit. And now take a little bit of water and now kind of blend them together a little bit, but kind of downward. You really want to see that papaya, which now looks a little more orange. So those will really pop out. This one over here, I think it was too wet when I did it earlier. And you want to be careful because that one's got quite a bit of had quite a bit of water on it, so it's blended a lot. Okay, so there's your coloring of your flowers. Now we're going to take this undone. And so this one's going to come out to be a little bit different because I forgot to leave it bigger, because we're going to have to cut this down. Now you could go back and color your edges in, but I don't really want to do that. You could also save this tape for more projects if you're going to do some soon. I wouldn't save it for a long time, but you definitely could save it for projects coming your way. All right, so we're going to dry this off because I don't want to try and cut wet paper. So you want to make sure that it's cut. And I like to dry it from underneath too because it is watercolor paper, so it's thick. And you don't want to heat emboss the top too much because it is embossed already with the gold. And I'm going to wipe up this paper. All right, and now I'm going to make sure I put this on top so I don't knock it over. Hi, Kathy. We did 2 cards today. This is the second one. Okay, now we're going to cut this down and we're going to add our hugs on top of it. I have a hug. Where's my S? Okay, found it. But you really want to make sure it's pretty dry, and it is. I think I'm going to cut it with this. Yeah, it's the lighting. It's so hard to see. And of course, wait until I put the hugs on the inside. It's going to look a lot better. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this. Now, I don't know what size I'm cutting it to, so we'll worry about that in a minute. I just want to cut off the white. And like I said, you could go back in and just add more color if you want. To me, doesn't matter. I just want a nice, clean cut piece of paper. And we'll worry about the sizes in a minute. Okay, so I'm going to move that. And another thing that works really well is one of those really hard board, like clipboards or something, works really well with that. All right, so let's put our letters on next. Oh wait, before we put our letters on, we're going to take our, we're going to add our letters first. Sorry, we are adding our letters first. Okay, again, I like to use my, thanks Barbara. Alright, we're going to put our H. Remember, let's see, we're going to put it on here and see how there's that little space So I'm going to turn it around and then it fits perfectly. So if you have a weird space in the middle that looks like it doesn't belong, turn your H upside down. It goes the other way also. Now, make sure that this is dry because your letters will not stick very well if they're not dry. If it's not dry because it's wet. And even though it seems like it might not be wet, it's still pretty damp. So you want to make sure that it's dry. So heat it with that heat tool. Now this one, obviously, I'm not going to go around with a black marker because I want that softer look. And while I'm gluing these on, you guys, I hope you guys will join me for bingo. It's my very first bingo bash. And I'm going to do some door prizes, some random drawings. I have 3 really amazing projects that I'm going to do. Oh, I see that my head is in the way. Sorry, you guys. We're going to do some really fun projects. We're going to have a really good 3D project that's going to have some technique to it. And for all of those, you have to register to participate. And so you can go to my blog, which is marciebeseckerdesigns.com, and click on events and classes, and then you can register for bingo. And I will be sending you, along with your kits of the make and takes, I'm going to send you also, there's a wet spot right here, I want to make sure I get it. Now that it's pretty dry, you can go back in if there's any random wet spots because the color pretty much has dried right where it should be, so you should be all right. I'm going to send you the kits that we're going to be making, so thanks, Karen. All right, so this is 4.5 by almost 4 3/4. So it's 4 and between, well, okay, so and 3 5/8, but it's kind of in between 5/8 and 3/4. But that's just what my size was. Yours could be whatever you want it to be, whatever it turns out to be. Now, I didn't decorate the inside of this. Let me see which one is which here. Okay. I don't even know if I cut these down. Let me see. So I did it on a white cardstock, and I'm not done decorating that part, so let me, the front. I'm losing my stuff. Where did it go? You should see my desk. 2 cards equals a mess. Oh, here's another one. All right. So, here we go. We're going to add, so I need to cut these down. And I think I'm going to do this one a little bit different. Let's see. See, this is how I had it. But now I'm kind of thinking, because we had to cut this down, and that won't fit on there, and I don't really want to go much smaller. Okay, we're going to change this up. We're going to change it. Let's see. All right, here we go. We are going to change this up. Okay, so there's a white strip here on the end. So I'm going to pull in my pink brush that I used, and there's got to be a little bit of something left on there, right? And I'm just going to kind of color the end, and now it's not so white. All right. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to add a wink of Stella to this. All right, so hopefully it doesn't blob out like it did a minute ago. I'm not squeezing, I'm just brushing. All right, so there's that. Now I'm going to squeeze a little. And it's coming out slowly. I just have it to the edge. I'm squeezing a little bit. And now I'm going to take this. I'm going to move this away so it doesn't get all over. And I'm just going to, I need it to come out more. Squeeze. There we go. And now I'm going to just do some splatters because who doesn't like Winkostella, right? All right. Yay. Now we're going to let that set aside to dry. So I'm just going to put that on top of my markers. And now we need to wipe up this extra because you're going to get it all over everything. So I'm going to pull up this. 4.5 by 3 5/8 is what that piece was. So we're going to do the inside first. And you're going to go, I'm going to do 5 1/4 by 4. And we're going to do 5. And I'm really not going to decorate the inside of this. You could, if I would have left that watercolor piece larger and then cut it down, even including the white strip, I probably would have had enough to decorate the inside. But I kind of want just the front to speak for itself. And I'm sending hugs to somebody. Chances are I'm probably going to write a little more in it than, you know, a birthday card or whatever. So we're going to go ahead and add this inside. And yeah. I just noticed my card base got wet. So I take a lot of my thick white cardstock and make panels ready to go. And they're scored already. Alright, so we can put this on the inside. So Sunday's video, you guys, is going to have a lot of technique in it. It's going to be a really great card. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to dry this just a bit and we're almost done. But my Winkostella is not dry. And you can hit it with your heat tool and it'll just help it. It's not going to take any shine away. It does help it dry. And then once it's mostly dry, I don't mind taking a little tissue or something on top and patting it, especially for videos. If I was doing it myself, I wouldn't do that. All right. So, Karen, thanks for kind of explaining bingo. Basically, you guys, you'll fill out your registration form. You'll choose 5 numbers. When I call out your number, so I'm going to have this, and I'm just going to pick a number, and then this is going to be the number. And if that's your number, you're going to type a B in the comments. If I pick out another number, and it's that number, then you're going to type BI. And then you just keep, you know, every time you get a number, you type BI, BIN, BING, and then the first person that types bingo, I'm going to have to scroll back up and look, but that will be the bingo person. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this down, and we know it is 4.5, so we're going to do 4 3/4. Let's see if this works. And then it was 3 5/8, so 4 and 5, but it was just over that. So 4, 5, so let's try. I'm just gonna go a little over, like right here. This is how I work. I'm like, okay, a little over is gonna be a little over. And like I said, there's really no measurements on this. Once you figure out what you want your card to be, then that's going to be your measurement. So like for me, I should have kept this larger. I'm going to put them together on the corner, and I'm going to put them in my corner rounder. And then I'm going to put these together and put them in my corner rounder. And then that way, you know, you can measure it down. Like this one, if I would have left bigger like I did my first one, then I would have not had such a large, I mean, I would have had I would not have had such a large margin. Thanks, Sharon. Bonnie, I hope you do try it. Okay. Okay, so now I think that's just going to kind of add to it. So let's add our glue. I'm going to use glue because it is watercolor paper. And it's the back of the card, so I don't need my little bottle. I'm going to bring out my larger bottle. Bye, Bonnie. Thanks for joining me. We're just assembling it. It's just about done. So you pretty much saw it all. We're just going to add some bling. All right, so we're going to add that on here. So I like how that looks. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put our stamp pads right there. Let those sit there for a minute. We're going to bring in our panel, I mean our card base. Now see this one, how it turned out is I just went ahead and did the color, the soft succulent on both sides because it was, my card base was so large. And then I didn't like this popped up on the foam, so I went ahead and just put it straight down. I didn't really want that to be popping up. All right, so here we go. That should be done. And now we can put this on here. But now, of course, I think the back is plain. So we're going to do something. Of course. Of course, it has to be something. All right, so what I'm going to do is, I don't know how this is going to turn out, but we are going to take the pale papaya and the polished pink. We're going to open up the pale papaya first. I am going to open this like this, like I do when I do envelopes or whatever. All right, let me see if I can, I'm going to move this out a little bit now. Okay. Well, I thought about embossing the white, Barbara, but it's the front of the card base, so I'm going to do something a little bit different. We're going to ink up our block with pale papaya. I'm going to go ahead and close the ink pads. I suggest that when you're doing this technique. I'm going to grab a Wink of Stella, and I am going to put a little bit on with the papaya. Okay, remember that the color does not go back up into the base, it's just on the tip. And I'm going to have to hold it down with my hand. Now I really want it on the edges because the card base is going to go in the inside, right? So we're just going to add, we're making a mess, I know. We're just going to add a little bit everywhere. All right, so now I'm done with that. You're going to have to take your baby wipe and wipe up everything because it does splatter. And now I'm going to take this and just wipe it off. And now you're going to see it's clear again. Okay, so we're going to clean this one off and I'm going to turn it over. Marjorie, thank you so much. Thanks for joining. We're just going to try and fix this white part, and let's see, I turned it over, right? Yeah. So we're going to get some pink and we're going to do the same thing just to kind of add a little color on there. I think this one's just about empty, so let's see. This is one of the ones that I need to fill. All right, and now we're going to add pink. I don't know how this is going to come out, but if I had a square card or square envelope, I would do that, but I don't. All right, so we're going to wipe this off. Another baby wipe to clean up my mess. All right, so again, see, it's clear now. I'm going to throw this away because it is full of dots everywhere. Okay, now this should be pretty dry, but see what we did, it's got the pink and the polished pink and papaya on there. And now we can pull this in. We've already splattered our Winka Stella, so it's just going to kind of tie in a little bit and give you a background on there. But I think I'm going to pop it up. No, I don't know. Let me see. Pop it up or lay it flat. What do you guys think? I think I'm going to lay it flat. Yep, Kathy, I think I'm going to do that too. And now you could add bows and you could do other stuff, but I think that the front of this card just has a lot of sparkle, a lot going on. I'm going to lay this right on there. All right. I have papers everywhere. All right, so here is the original one. Here's the one we did. Oh, that's the original. This is the one we did. Now the only thing we have left to do is find our rhinestones. Now I have a bunch in one pouch because I have missing ones. Like this doesn't have hardly any little pink or yellow because I used a lot of those. So on these I chose, on this one I did the pink. So I did a larger one and a smaller one, and I did a larger one like over here. So that's that one finished. Now this one you can tell is completely different because I did do the size a little bit different. Now these colors are going to lighten up just a little bit too. Thanks, Terry. And so what I did with these is I took one of the darker, oh, I don't think I did. I think I used all soft succulent here. And so I did a large, a small, and a small. And so there you go. So there are the cards. Now, we didn't have to change this one up. I could have just totally did that around it, but I kind of like the equal amount of color around the outside. So we just needed to change that one up because I cut it down too small to begin with. But if you didn't have this one, you would never know. And then if you can see around the outside, we did the pale papaya and the polished pink, which just kind of ties in with the Winkostella that's on the inside also, and stayed with the end colors. So I hope you guys like those two different techniques, and it was a great way to show the Sending Hugs bundle. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, I don't like to fussy cut, I don't like to color, but even you could have done this background and then you could have just added a different color, like maybe one of the pretty pink metallic, and you could have just done the hugs in the pretty pink metallic, rose gold metallic, and just put it right on top of your watercolor. I mean, how pretty would that be? And you just put that on there. I'm trying to do it all backwards. And add your pink, your rose gold metallic die cut right on top of your watercoloring. So that would be really pretty. Thanks, Kathy. Thanks, Barbara. So I really hope you guys will join us for bingo. It's going to be a lot of fun. Like I said, it's my first one, and we are going to have so much fun. Oh, Laura, no problem. There's 2 cards. That'll be a lot of fun to go back and watch. So don't forget, go over to my blog, and at the top it says events and classes. Click on that. You'll get all of the information you need about the bingo. I'd love to have you participate. It's going to be a lot of fun. Don't forget, the kits are now available. Today is the first day. Also on my blog at the top, you can click the button that says available kits, and you can see what's available now. Remember that those are going to be changing. So as things sell out, as things come in that are new, those are all going to be changing, and you don't want to miss out. If there's a kit that you really want, you should get that now. The other thing is, I want to say, is the last chance right now. The mini catalog is leaving, and there's last chance items on there that you probably do not want to miss. So make sure that you go on and get those ordered, and don't wait, because those are going to be sold out. And I know a lot of people like to wait for the discount, but not everything gets discounted. Deborah, you are so welcome. Thanks, Karen. Yeah, our bingo is going to be so much fun. All right, so what else? Here is my host code for the month of June. It is always on my Facebook page, which is marciebeseckerdesigns. It is also always on my blog. Right below my shop here button is always my current host code. So if you're wondering, where's the host code? The best thing to do when you shop with me is go to marciebessecker.com, and then my host code is right there, and then you can click that shop my online store, and it will take you right in there. I still need to do my drawing for my mini die cut and machine, so I will be doing that on the day that I return. So it won't be this Sunday, it'll be Tuesday. So I will do my drawing then. I've got to get it all set up and ready to do the drawing. I'll just do it live right on TV, right on Facebook, and see who won that machine. So for those of you who do shop with me in June, I will have a special little gift going to you if your order is $75 or more. So if it's $75 or more, you will be getting a special something from me. And so I hope you do that, and don't forget to add the host code when you do. Thanks, Carol. So yes, I'm off to camping starting Friday, and I'll be back on Sunday night late. So I will not be doing there will be a video Sunday. Okay, I told you I wasn't going to give you a sneak peek. So if you left early, you're not going to see it. But I'm just going to show you that much. Okay, that's it. That's all you get to see. Oh, you're welcome, everybody. Bye, Tashana. All right, everybody. So hopefully Sunday you'll be here for the video. It's going to be a great card with lots of technique, some old and some new stuff. So that's all you get, Karen. Little tiny tease. I wasn't even going to do that. Thanks, Terry. I will. All right, everybody. Have a fantastic week, and I will see you on Tuesday. But I'll be looking for your comments on Sunday because I'm going to be waiting in my motorhome for the guys to finish up golfing for us to come home. So I'll be looking forward to chatting with you then. All right, everybody. Have a great rest of your week. Bye.